Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. um, it has been quite an interesting couple of days. The other day, I went out. I had talked about on Sunday. I decided to make that my get into the vortex day, go on and go be myself kind of day. So that day, a realization hit me. I always had a problem with trying to figure out what the hell to do with the gestation period, because it was a matter of just, kind of hitting that mark for me. And I listened to a lot of Abraham Hicks. I'm reading all the books. I'm trying to go over that side of it because the more I focus on the spiritual side of my stuff, the better everything is for me and everyone around me. And the thought hit me because of my garden. And then also because I would love to have another baby and things like that, that it finally hit me what the hell to do with everything else in my life for his gestation period. Because, with a baby, you have 9 months of gestation before the baby is born. That's what it is. You're waiting and waiting and waiting, and at the same time seeing something grow and seeing the results of, eating healthy and taking care of yourself and singing to the baby so they know your voice and everything like that. So it's a matter of that kind of gestation period. Then it finally hit me. It's like growing my goddamn garden. I can, for some reason, I'm more than happy to let there be a gestation period for my seeds to grow, but not anything else in my life. I get so impatient everywhere else. And I notice this with myself. When I get stressed out or I start worrying, I don't let the gestation period happen. I try to force it. And there's nothing good that comes from something that early. Just like pre-labor, before 6 months is really, really bad. There's nothing good coming from forcing anything in your life before it's ready and out of its gestation period. So I was thinking over that this morning, and then a funny thing happened. On my 2 surviving plants, the latter in soil, the basil and the sunflower, are sitting in their cups by a window. And they have a couple of plates underneath them to catch water because they have holes in the bottom. So I went to go look at the plates and I watered it again. I waited a day to see. I'm trying to figure out a good watering schedule because, again, I've never done this before. So I'm trying to figure it out on my own. And I lifted the cup, like both of them, because some water had come out from underneath. So I knew that they had enough. I might wait another couple days before watering. And I lift up the sunflower cup and 3 little roots are coming out of the holes to get the water that was on the plate. They're just like, screw all this water around me in the soil. I want this one. And it's just like, even though I can't see anything, even though they're not poking through the surface yet, it's really funny to see that. And all this groundwork underneath. And you never see the groundwork underneath. You never see the tarot readers sit there and agonize over keywords. You never see them sit there and meditate for hours on end to do the background work to make sure that your reading is fantastic. You may see the altar set up, but you don't know everything that goes into it, and we take for granted the background work. The gestation period. We take for granted. We're like, ugh, it's going to take 4 days for you to get that reading to me? Well, what am I going into that reading? Like, for example, I have my Valentine's packages right now. And for a tarot and palm reading, it's $97. And then if you want to add on a custom bath spell and a custom love meditation, it's $197. And I take 4 days to do it, but that's because I am doing a full, at least 10, 20 page palm reading, at least a 5, 10 page tarot reading, and then I'm recording the meditation, and then I'm making the bath spell, trying it on myself first, and then I'm giving it to you, So it's like, You don't see the background work with what other people are giving you. You don't see their gestation period, and especially when it comes to building courses and, academies and all this kind of stuff. You don't see the background work and how long this person has been working on it, and that's what ups the value. That's what makes the birthing process so much more satisfying, because as soon as you see those roots and see it pop out of the ground, then you're like, oh, yes. And the reason I bring this up is because today my daily draw, I have been changing it from what do I need to keep in mind for today or something like that. I changed it more to what does the universe want me to know, or what guidance does the universe have for me today. And I've been doing that for a couple of days. In today's draw, I got the 7 of Fire. And I always love this card, because out of all the pagan sabbats, I love Mabon the most, just because the name, and it's my favorite time of year. I love autumn. I love the changing of the leaves. All my happiest memories are in autumn. And this just screams autumn to me because of the color palette. And it has its lotus flower and, this little bowl. And I noticed this woman is trying to scry in dirty water with a lotus in it, but her third eye is blocked. This deck loves its third eyes. But at the same time, there's a third eye up here already, so it's not completely blocked. She just knows that there are some illusions in front of her face. And it's just a matter of listen to your intuition, think things through, don't jump to conclusions, because all day yesterday, after I made the vlog, I was sitting there and I was stressing out on how am I going to get more things done. And when I get stressed out, that's when I push myself super, super hard. And then I realized I can't do that because these aren't coming from a place of, receiving. This is not an energetic thing. I don't feel good about these decisions that I'm making, like split second. This is me pushing and worrying and coming from a place of need. So I need to not do this stuff. And I feel like that was just a warning on don't do that again today. Especially because today I'm not going to have as much time to do everything. And then I always look at the bottom of the deck, as you've seen. Sometimes I'll show 1 or 2 cards to show you what was on the bottom of the deck. And it's funny because at first I couldn't remember what this symbol was down here. I couldn't remember if it was water or fire for this deck. So I was flipping through the top card, see if I was going to run into another symbol like it first, and the card underneath was thought. My cards are stalking me. And then it was talking about destiny next. And then it was talking about earth, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Then I ran in the water, and I'm like, okay, it's a different symbol. But I thought it was funny that my stalker card was right underneath my daily draw. Of course it was. Because you're always there, and yes, I know my thoughts are manifesting. I know. Thank you so much for the reminder. But I looked at the bottom of the card, of the deck, and I got the 3 of Earth. And now you can see why I thought of the gestation period. Because this wonderful guy is planting these seeds, and he's nurturing them, and sometimes it takes longer than you want for things to become fruitful when they're coming from a seed. Like, for example, rosemary. Like I said yesterday, it takes longer than you want to for it to become able to use if you use seeds. But if you do it from cuttings, it's a lot quicker. But it still takes time for the roots to go, and then I'm going to put them in soil, and then it'll take time for it to get really substantial. So I feel like today was just a reminder of I am planting the seeds. Now I just need to take care of it, because if you don't take care of yourself as a mother with a baby, the gestation period is not going to go very well. And the baby may not be its 100% best when it comes out. Whereas with seeds, if you don't make sure there's enough water or enough fertile soil, and make sure that pests don't get to your plants and things like that, if you aren't there to take care of it, then it may not, flower. It may die off. So that's a reminder for me. And that I need to let the gestation period happen. And then today, I thought it was also funny going through the goddess for today, which is Izan Velatkit. She's a voodoo goddess, so voodoo. And I thought it was wonderful. She's like this goddess of initiation. And she's always present at the initiation ceremony called Kanzo, where like she welcomes new initiates in, and her position, the Loa, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing some of this stuff wrong, is she's pretty much the high priestess. No, Mambo, I'm sorry. A Mambo is a high priestess in her religion. And it's just, her thing is all about cleansing and blessing and empowering. And I love this image of her. I love it when I learn more about these different deities, because they have so much rich history, and they usually give a physical appearance for these people to make it more real. And hers, I just love this thought. She's imagined as a woman going to market, wearing a white dress and an apron with very deep pockets, containing candles, coins, or candy to give to her children. The earthly plane of existence is seen as a great marketplace and a melting pot. I love that. I love the fact that if I were to go to a flea market or a food market, that I might see this woman with her hair done up, this beautiful, just cocoa-colored woman with an apron with deep pockets filled with things, and she'd just be looking over the produce or looking over everything, because it's true, the world is our marketplace. All we have to do is go and actually spend the money or spend our energy and pick things out that we want. And that is, I love that. That's so powerful. And this is the kind of woman, I feel like I also love it so much because I aspire to be that. I love being that person of, yes, come over, I have things for you. Like, seriously, look up the song Come On My House by Della Reese. It's in my witchy playlist for, actually, it's in the Major Arcana playlist here on the channel. And that's just me. It's like, come over. I want to feed you, and I want to talk to you, and I want to make sure that you're happy, and that kind of thing. It's just like, let me nurture you. And she does it just in a spiritual way. And I just love it. It just fills my heart so wonderfully. I love her. Oh, this is why I have problems trying to pick more than, pick a single god or goddess or deity to follow, because there's so many I love. And this is one of those that I'm just like, ooh, I love you. It's absolutely wonderful. And her contemplation is just, when I am ready to face the truth, the next stage of my journey will begin. And it's like, oh, that's so true. Because when you're ready to face the facts, that's when you grow more. Because you have completed a cycle, and then you start right back over. And then you have to face a new truth, and you keep on going. And it's, oh, that just fills my heart. I love that. Tell me what you think about our goddess today. Tell me what you think about gestation periods. And letting things grow and seeing them to their full fruition in the comments below. And if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.